Alright. Hello and welcome. I just happened to find a challenger team for ranked 5's in League of Legends. Happening to be playing ranked 5's right now. So let's watch it. We're currently on patch 5.22, and that's a dive down in the bot lane by Gragas. That'll be a kill picked up by Lucian, or on Lucian by Gragas there. They will be taking the tower too. If Gragas doesn't actually die down here, the tower drop pretty low. Thresh will block the Q from Braum, and Braum should be going down here right away. The minions actually block the shot from Graves. He gets it with the W pickup. Pick up a couple of minions there as well with his buckshots, and the tower will go down eventually in the bot lane. Exciting start here so far, and yeah, hope you enjoy. Jumping right into the action. We're 12 minutes in, 9-6. We've got Sane Esports versus I can't remember what the other team's name was. I didn't exactly jot it down, and I don't know a button to find out while I'm here in the spectator client. So, you know, something I might need to work on for the future. Next Me Too is their tag. That's all I know. So it should be an interesting matchup. Next Me Too, I believe, was the challenger team. It might have been Shane. Actually, featuring Energy Rush. So I don't know if that's been announced yet today or something, but I don't think that's a thing. But that is the name that's down. We got a fight going down in the top lane between Vladimir and Maokai. Red team will secure the dragon down in the bot. Not much of a fight going on there, but Vladimir getting dropped really low by the Maokai. That ultimate coming in very handy. Not a whole lot of damage being dealt to Maokai, which means not a whole lot of healing being done for Vladimir. Ulti from Vlad goes down, and that's a little bit of damage onto Maokai, but that's a power down in the blue team. Lissandra with the flash in, no ultimate though. And the culling and true shot barrage coming out from Ezreal and Lucian there. Not enough to kill anybody off, but enough to deter them long enough. We got Graves getting a little bit harassed there, comes close to getting stunned by the Braum passive. Maokai diving in onto Vladimir again. He's gonna have backup from Gragas right away. Doesn't have the mana for an ulti, I believe. Vlad manages to cool the body slam, and that will keep him safe as Elise comes up to help push everybody off. And they're still looking around for it. It's a battle between two tanks versus two fairly heavy damage dealers. That was a neat little crab bug. A little flashing red crab under the sweeper there. Alright, so 9 kills to 6, 25.6k gold to 22.9k. 15 minutes in. This isn't nearly as snowbally as some of the solo queue games I've seen so far have been. And kind of interesting to see the Maokai and Vladimir being the top lane picks right now. Makes me curious as to what the bans were. Unfortunately, I have no way of finding that out. Vladimir will fail to flash over the wall and get finished off by Graves. Lucian picking up his Essence Reaver, and Ezreal finishing off his Triforce. That's going to be an AD Ezreal in the mid lane, actually. So that's an interesting pickup. I just realized I haven't sorted these out yet. Boom, boom. Boom, there we go, we're good. Now everybody's matched up with their proper lane partner and in their proper spot. So Lissandra managing to dodge out of the cocoon there. Nothing's going to happen in the mid lane. And Graves and Thresh starting to push up in the top lane a bit here. Lucian coming up to help Braum out as well. Culling comes out but finds nobody. Braum will not hit his Q either. And Thresh will just pull Graves away to safety. So Essence Reaver pickup by both AD carries here. Looking for that cooldown reduction from their crit and the extra mana regen based on their damage dealt there. Lissandra catching the ultimate onto Braum there. He's going to be hooked in as well, but Thresh kill picked up by Lysandre. Gets in behind him and kills him with a Q. Rift Herald now being started up as well. Graves getting in behind so he can proc that extra true damage. A lot of burst damage coming out from that. See who they decide to give it over to. They give it over to Graves, but they forget to tank it for a second. And, you know, it takes a little longer than necessary there. Graves not able to hit the eye. Maokai diving under the tower is not going to be able to find Elise and will go down to the tower there. Really misplayed. Burns the flash as well. Got stuck on some minions or something there. And that was a really, really questionable play down in bot lane. You can see what he wanted to do, but it didn't quite work out that way. And, you know, gives Next Me Too a little bit of breathing room here. Alright, 11-7 now, 27.9k to 31.7k in favor of blue team. Insane esports. And Graves will find Vladimir up in the top lane. A lot of damage coming out. Vladimir having to pull already. Ultimate goes down. The execute coming out from Graves. Fancy little knockback. He gets the kill off the pink board as well. Takes a little while for Graves though with the having to reload and everything. Braum will find a little ward next to his pink, and they'll just be clearing out some vision, hopefully trying to take back some of the map. And yeah, unfortunately Vlad's finding himself fairly far behind here. 0-5-2 so far, compared to the 2-3-2 Maokai counterpart up in the top lane, having the Spirit Visage already completed, plus Merc Tread. Not really a fun opponent for Vlad to come up against, but then again, as we saw, neither is the Graves. Graves having a lot of burst damage that Vladimir just cannot live through. He's not going to be happy, and needs to find some way to get back into this game. Though, coming up in the next little while, once we get into team fights, he should be able to use that ulti to great effect. A lot of AoE actually comes out from red team between the Ezreal, two-shot barrage, Lucian Qs, Vladimir E's, and everything, and all that gets amped up by the by Vladimir's ulti. A little bit of press going down. Thresh Hook lands onto Braum. His shield's already down. He's going to be taking a lot of damage. Elise also taking that. Caught up by the Lysandre ulti. Ezreal will go down as well. They dive past for the Lucian. Graves picks up maybe a kill? I don't know. That all happened very fast. Maokai picks up a double kill at the end. And that will be 2 towers coming down for sure. 20-second death timers. The only person left is Braum. Braum will be coming up fairly quickly. They should have enough time to burn this tower down really quick. 3 seconds left on Lucian. These towers go down really fast in this preseason. And they do pick it up. So that's an open inhibitor now in the mid lane after that ace. Queen ace by Sane Esports. And yeah, a lot of action went down there. Took me a second to catch up on everything. But we're in. Sane Esports picking up the dragon now. A lot more calm of a game than the one that I previously shoutcasted. Unfortunately, I don't get to use because the recording went poorly. Hopefully this one goes a lot better. And, you know, next to me, trying to get that Baron burnt down really quickly. Triforce Ezreal and Lucian doing a lot. Red team does manage to pick up the Baron, but how much will they lose for it? Elise has already gone down. Lucian will go down as well. Thresh Hook misses, and he will be stunned up by the Braum passive. Will be going down, so that's a 2-for-1 with Baron going over to red team. That's not a terrible trade. The Baron will help them farm out and get a little bit more out of this game. At least stall out the game for a little while. But they are in a pretty big hole, down almost 10k right now, sitting 7k behind. 34 to 41.8, 19 kills to 8, and 5 towers to 1. both teams holding a dragon, and now with next Me Too having the Baron buff on 3 of its members, Lucian and Elise do not get it, but Vladimir getting it in the top lane will help him to split push through and maybe pick up that top tier tower. The only tower drawn down so far is the mid outer tower on the side of Sane Esports. So real map domination coming out from Sane Esports right now. Lissandra picking up the blue buff right away here. Something that I've seen a fair bit of recently, actually surprisingly, is the Lissandra mid lane has become fairly popular, it seems. I keep seeing it in high tier solo queue, and obviously in this game here. So it's interesting to see that adaptation. Rod of Ages being a fairly strong AP item on this patch. A lot of the AP items got nerfed, and Rod of Ages seems to be one of the ones that managed to get its value actually increased through the patch. So the Rod of Ages champions will be coming up fairly strong. The exhaust comes out, Lucian dashing into his death. Maokai ultimate still down, so he's not taking a lot of damage. Finally does go down, so Ezreal might have a chance to kill him, but he just wants to get out of there. Graves almost got killed off by the Culling, but not quite enough damage there to finish him off, and Lucian ends up paying for it with his life. Ezreal will go down there too. He doesn't even care. He knows he's dead and just waits it out. Unstoppable Graves sitting at 5-1 and 13. Really feisty. That should be a pretty easy finish off of the game here. Though with Lissandra starting to get caught out here, doesn't want any of the Vlad. Vlad actually doing quite a bit of damage to her there. And Rob coming up, trying to get some damage blocked with his shield right there. Aren't going to find much. Maokai goes down without dropping his ultimate. Didn't have it up just yet. And here comes the AoE damage from Vladimir. Ultimate goes down. That's not going to be enough to finish anybody off. Graves is still sitting there pounding out the damage in the backline, but everybody will be falling down. Graves has to run away with his life. Flashes away from the Elise repel and might be able to get out of here. We'll have to see. Gets a little bit of speed and does not make it out. Shutdown goes to the Braum. Team Gold 450 now. It's a big change on the patch, which a lot of teams will be quite happy for. The supports not accidentally kill stealing that massive shutdown gold and taking it away from a carry who might need it a bit more. Instead, now everybody gets the bonus 450 gold, so that goes a long ways to helping close the gap. Only down 4K now, not even, almost at 3K behind. So big change up here. Getting the key shutdowns, really swinging the gold back towards their favorites, still in the favor of Sane Esports, and they still do have a fairly large tower lead with having that open inhibitor in the mid lane. So a clean ace, and Sane Esports should be able to just push through for the win, especially if that Maokai is available with teleport or just at a decent amount of life. Easily able to tank up the turrets. And we'll have to see what kind of a response next Me Too has. They've been doing a good job of clawing their way back in this. Some vision getting cleared out around Baron, both teams trying to get hold of the area, knowing that's going to be spawning in about 2 minutes here. Dragon spawning in 1 minute. Lissandra actually finding out Elise with her ultimate, but that's not exactly the target that they want to be dropping that ultimate onto. Vlad dropped very low, will have the pool to fall back onto, but gets killed off by the Graves Q as soon as he comes out of the pool. Fresh hook onto Lucian, will finish him off. Graves dashing after Ezreal, but he will be able to blink over the wall. Braum jumping away as well. That's a 2 for 1. Elise did manage to escape out of there. But either way, not a good fight for next Me Too. That's kind of rough. Insane Esports looking to push in and clear out this inhibitor that they opened up earlier. That'll be go a pretty long way into helping seal the deal. Ezreal ulti comes out, but no damage behind that. He is going AD Ezreal, and so that ulti is not doing any damage. As it's Triforce and Essence are completed, Ron goes in on, or gets, somebody went in on somebody there. Maokai is tanking up all the damage. Shut down from Maokai onto Elise. Graves gets kill onto Lucian after a threat shield lands on him. Flash body slam comes out. Flash root comes out as well. Ezreal will be locked up. Sandra ulti comes out. That's going to be a clean ace as soon as life comes out of the pool. Maokai picks up that one, and that will be the game. Sane Esports taking this one very quickly. Turn back around. Next me too, having a good comeback there at about the 23-minute mark, but not quite enough to help bring the game back into their favor. Braum actually might have gotten out of that one alive, so, or he might have just spawned, who knows. Either way, he's not up in time to help save the game for Next Me Too. That will be the win by Sane Esports. And GG, well played. Interesting build actually from Graves, having the Death's Dance in there. A lot of action happening there, so I didn't have time to talk about it. But that's kind of an interesting item, going Phantom Dancer and Death's Dance. Slightly different than a lot of builds that I see. Most of them going for the Static Shiv and Rapid Fire Cannon build, doing the energy passive binding. But yeah, Death's Dance, interesting one, getting that extra bit of CDR I guess he wanted. Phantom Dancer, great pickup on Graves with that low attack range. He really benefits from the passive from the Lament passive and the Spectral Waltz. Helps him just move around and be really tanky along with his True Grit. So that's actually a really good good amount of damage reduction and mobility in combat. So, and I'm not sure about going AD Ezreal in this. I guess with the Vladimir top, you'd hope that Vladimir would be your AP damage for the game. But I think AP Ezreal, if you're going to be playing Ezreal in the mid lane, that should still be your way to go. Either way, picked up the Triforce and Essence Reaver, trying to get that CDR to just spam out the Mystic shots and get Trinity Force procs off constantly. But not enough coming out there. Quick look at the damage dealt to champions graph, as I'm still sitting on a black screen. Sorry about that. Quick look here at the scores if you want. That's all I was looking at while I was explaining all that. Graves, just a lot of damage. 30,000 damage in a 27-minute game. 28:04 the official game time. That's 30,000 damage. That's over 1,000 damage per minute. Well over. And yeah, it's very hard to compete with a champion when he's doing over 1,000 damage to your champions a minute. So yeah, GG, well played. Sane Esports taking the win over Next Me Too. Thank you for watching. I'm going to take a quick break and then probably do another one. And I'll see you in the next video.